Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Today I'm working with the Elegant Nestables collection again, and today I'm going to be using the A5 and the DL. So I'm going to make one of each card and then I'm going to combine the two dies together and make a third card. So for these cards I want my colour scheme to be grey and white, but I don't have any grey card like this. So what I've done is I've taken my iced spruce and some plain white card, and I've just taken this and gone direct to the card with the ink, and I've gone all over it. Now once you've done that, you will need to allow that to dry, and once it's dried it will go a flatter shade. So that's the card that I'm going to use for my colour scheme today. Now using that technique of going direct to the card with the ink, and this is just plain white card, I can create any colour that I want depending on the inks that I've got that will go with my colour schemes. So for my cards I have an A5 base and I'm keeping the fold at the side. I have a DL card and again the fold is at the side, and then because I'm going to combine the two sets together, I have another A5 card that's there. So for the base of this A5 one I've cut some grey card, but because I'm going to cover it with this die and I'm going to cut this in white, I've taken the centre out of it with this die. So there's my piece that will go there, and nobody will know that there is a piece missing once that's added in place. So with the piece that I cut out underneath, that will sit on the top. Now for this DL card, I've taken the largest DL die and I have cut that in grey, and that's going to sit on the top of there. And for this card I have a grey panel which I'm now going to put through the machine in an embossing folder. So I've used the Perfect Roses embossing folder, and that's my card, and that's now going to sit on the top of there. Now with the largest die from this set I've cut another panel, but this time I've cut it down and I'm only going to use a portion of it on the front of my card. So there's my bases now ready to be added to. So let's carry on with the die cutting for this card. I'm going to add this piece and I want grey on the back of it, so I've cut another grey piece. I've taken the next die down, which is this one, and I've cut the centre out, and nobody will know again once that's added that that is missing. And then from these two dies I have just cut my grey backing and my white top, and that is those. So for these I'm going to add this to my base with just some glue. So we'll just put the glue on around the sides. And that's going to leave just a small border around the edges. And then this one I'm going to add with some foam tape underneath it. Now with this one I'm going to add this grey panel also to the centrepiece. And we'll add that in there, again leaving just a small border around the edge. Now these two are going to have foam tape on the back of them. This one around the frame, this one along here, and these two have just been glued together. So let's add some foam tape to these, and then we can add these to the card. Now we're going to add this at an angle on the front of that card. Now don't worry about this piece, this won't be seen. So we'll press that down in place. We'll put some foam tape on the back of this, and then we can add this to the card also. And now we can add this to the top, and again no one will know that there is a piece missing out of there. Now then, with this one we're going to add this at an angle as well, but I'm making sure that the 2 points at the bottom attach, and I'm going to put some foam tape under this corner and under this piece so that it will just lie steady. So I have some organza ribbon here, and before I add this panel to my base I'm going to wrap a piece of this around the card. So we'll just fasten it on the back so that it can't be seen. We can add all this to the base card. And that would sit along there. Now I need to add a bow into this, and then we can dress that with some flowers when we've done the other cards. Now for the DL card, I've just cut all the different layers in alternate colours, and all these white panels I'm going to put through an embossing folder, and we'll use the roses one again because I really do like this. So we can put all these in there at the same time and we can emboss those all together. So once you have these, you have an embossed side and a debossed side. So you need to decide which side you like the best. And I'm going to just simply layer these onto the other grey panels, and then I can add some foam tape behind each panel. Now I have found some really thin ribbon in my stash, and I'm just going to weave it in and out of these half circles on this middle piece. And I'm going to do that until I've got right to the end and it's all done. So we're just going up and down to the end. So once we've done that, we can add a little bit of foam tape to the back, and we can just pop that in place on the front of the card and then glue this one in place on the top. So I've decided to add this one in with some foam tape as well, and that's just going to sit into the middle of this panel, and then all this can be glued in place either with foam or with glue to the back. And again, I think we'll add this with some foam tape. So just going into the centre bits and adding foam tape to the back just gives this a nice shadow when it's sat on the base card. So we'll take the backings off and we'll just pop this in place. There we go. Now you can use that landscape, portrait I should say, or landscape. It's entirely up to you, whichever way you want to use that. So I think we'll use this in landscape, and we'll create a little bow that's going to sit on one of the corners. So there's 2 cards ready for decorating. Now let's start on the third one, and this again is the A5 nesting set. So I've used the largest die there to create this, and I've simply cut it into a portion. Now, as I said to you earlier, we've embossed this, and this is the Perfect Roses embossing folder. I'm keeping the fold at the side and I'm going to add this along there. Then into that I'm going to put the grey panel, and then I've taken the centre one from the DL and that's going to sit along there, and that will be trimmed off once I've added these in place. So I've flat glued this to my base. I've got some foam tape under this one. I've flat glued the grey one and I have foam tape under this. Now before I add this to my card, I've got some grey ribbon and I'm just going to add this so that it sits alongside that panel there and just butts up with the edge. So once I have the ribbon in place, I can add this to my card front. Now the foam tape will keep this raised so it gives a nice lacy effect on the card, and with the rest of the grey ribbon I'm going to create a bow that will sit along this side. So instead of a bow I'm going to add this design. So I've taken a length of ribbon and I've folded it and glued it into the middle, and this one is a little bit shorter and I've done the same, and I'm going to glue these onto my card along here and then find a design that will sit in the middle, just to a little dazzler to just decorate that up. So for the sentiments I've decided to go with Just For You from the Butterfly Trails collection. That goes there. I've taken the congratulations and I've used parchment for the backing on both of these, and that's from the Thoughtful Words. And then I've taken happy birthday and I've changed the orientation of that. I'm going to use it in landscape, and that's from the Special Words collection, and they're going to be added to the card and then I'll decorate with flowers. So now comes the fun part, and we'll have the dry run first. So for this one I'm going to add in some colour, and I'm going to use this gypsum filler, and we'll add this along there, and then at the bottom we'll add in the 3 yellow roses. Now for this one I'm again going to use the long stems, and I'm going to put these along the bottom there, and then we'll dress the top of this with some white flowers that have black centres in them, and we'll add another one just there. And then for this one I'm going to use the long stems again, because I really do like these long stems, and I'm going to add white roses and another little blossom there, and then we'll add some tulips down this side along there, and I'll glue those in place with some hot glue, and then we'll add the glitter to make them sparkle. So in my crafty stash I've found some pearls that I've added to my cards. I've also found a little yellow butterfly that I'm going to add onto that card there, and then I will glitter up my flowers by dotting some glue to the petals and then just sprinkling with the glitter. So once the glue is dry, it will dry flat, it will dry clear, and then all you need to do is take a soft brush and just brush off the excess. So there are my 3 finished cards, all decorated with flowers, ribbons and pearls. The main items that I've used for these cards are the A5 Elegant Nestables. I've used the DL Elegant Nestables on this card, and then I've teamed them both together on this card. I've taken sentiments from the other die sets that are in different collections, and they now are all ready to send. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one. And why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, then you'll always be aware when I add a new video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.